What's up, Starshines? I'm Sylvia-Moonbeam with a special guest on the show today, the one and only...
Hello, my name is Snips. You can also call me Ash. I am a streamer and small business owner, and I specialize in handmade crafts such as soaps, bath bombs, and some costume bras. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
So, in particular, I wanted to have Snips on a video because she actually made this commissioned piece for me, a mermaid bra of my own, kind of inspired by a couple different characters from League of Legends. It's been a while since I've done a League video, but I love the characters of Nautilus and Pike and Alawi, so she made this awesome kind of sunken ship inspired bra that has starfish and shark teeth and little anchors and tentacles and fishnet, and it looks super duper awesome. And when I wear it, I feel like an absolute badass. My first question for you is, how did you get into making both the mermaid bras and the costume bras that you have? Like, I know you have what you said it was a fairy one, right? The one you have next to you? How'd you get into that?
Oh gosh, okay, so I've always been super crafty and I've always loved to learn how to do new things, and I am constantly picking up new hobbies. I have a pretty short attention span. So I started doing these bras because not only was it cheaper than trying to find bras to cosplay and do mermaid shoots, which I was doing a lot of before COVID, but I just find it very therapeutic, and I'm creating something beautiful that I can later use for cosplays. I can wear them in fairs, I can wear them in photo shoots, and it's just, I love the aesthetic. I'm a huge fan of florals, and I love the full mermaid aesthetic, obviously, like an island below, but I've just always loved doing new things. The reason I started getting into the bras was because I wanted a creative outlet, so I wanted to try something new, and I felt like that was a really good thing to get into. I always have a ton of flowers and pearls lying around because I use them in a lot of my other crafts, and so I figured, why not start making some of my own for, my own use. So, yeah, it just kind of evolved from there.
That's really cool. That's really cool. I am a little curious though, because I know you make the crowns too, right? Which came
the floral crowns.
The floral crowns. Which came first?
Oh, the crowns did, definitely.
Yeah, and I mean this in the most loving way possible. I'm very fascinated to figure out the logical leap from crowns to bras.
Well, I just felt like I needed something fun, and with a lot of the talk and the new people that I met through Discord and the whole Twitch and online community, we all started talking about like red fairs and all this fun stuff. My mom and sister had gone, so I thought it would be fun to create stuff for future fairs that I could wear, and I know how much of an accomplishment and how proud you can be to wear something that you made and how people like gawk, which is like, wow, that's so cool, you made that. And so also I had a few bras laying around, so I figured, why not take this really ugly bra and turn it into something beautiful that I am proud to show off and excited to wear, even if it's just around my house. Yeah, I'm very proud of the work I've done. I know that a lot of these bras I've only made for myself, but I just love to take photos. I can't wait to do another shoot, hopefully soon when it's not quite so chilly, with this black siren bra that's hanging in the back, so I can grab that later to show you. But I've just always loved doing stuff like this, and it makes me really happy to see people appreciate the work that I do, even if it's not for them to take. It's just, wow, I can't believe you did that. That's really awesome. It gives me a really big sense of accomplishment, and it gives me confidence in myself and my work.
I don't think I asked you this before. How many of the mermaid figure? How many of the costume bras have you made?
Yeah, there's only 3 right now. This is
really?
a new thing that I've gotten into. So I probably started about a month and a half, 2 months ago. So it's very, very new. hobby of mine. But the crowns I've been making for over a year now. So I started with really simple, like big flower ones for Halloween last year, and then that kind of divulged into these really pretty, like fall harvest ones that have little acorns and pumpkins, and just kind of evolved from there.
In that case, how many crowns have you made?
Crowns, I've probably made about 20 since last year, if not more, because I've sold a lot. So whenever I would take them to events, I'd probably sell around 5 to 6 each time. So I was constantly making new ones, and I do custom orders on those as well. But I stick to mainly just the florals. I have a friend who actually makes mermaid crowns. They're beautiful, so I have a handful of those too. But those are mine.
That is really awesome. I didn't realize that. I'm like, oh, I only have like the third one you've made. That makes it even like more special. I thought you've made like 10 or 12 already.
I think your bra, out of all the bras that I made, was the third one, and then I made this one just recently. So this is my newest and one of the ones that I'm like the most proud of because it has the most intricate details.
Do you have a particularly favorite one? It sounds like maybe the one you have in the back might be a favorite of yours.
Yeah, this one. Here's the thing though, they all kind of have like different aesthetics. So like this one here, you can see very pastel, like the soft girl aesthetic. So pastel with butterflies, colors, there's like little rhinestones on here, some little fairy-like type things, and then I have this one, dark, more siren-y type bras. So I really like this one. I used a lot of the pearls, and I used some creepy cloth to give it like this gauzy shipwrecked look.
Lovely.
And there's tons of little shells, and we've got some like turquoise teal glitter on it. And just this kind of reminds me of Ursula's shell from Little Mermaid. That's what it reminds me of. So I was like, I'll have to use that one. So yeah, like as far as the aesthetic goes, I just
Oh, that's like night and day.
exactly. This is like both sides of my personality right here. So it's perfect. But I don't know. It's hard to say that I have a favorite just because I love everything that I've done. But as far as like the ones that I would want to photograph and shoot and take out, it would probably be between those two.
On a side note, how much, because I was describing my own as very Ursula-like. How much of the kind of the dark siren one you made, how much of that inspired your work on mine?
I actually took a lot of inspiration from it. So the real difference between, like here's I used fishnet, and then for this one I used a creepy cloth, which is a little bit, it's not quite as net looking, but it's more gauzy. Like I took a shirt and ripped it up and used it to cover myself.
Oh.
But this has a little bit more of a, like, I think yours I would describe as more of a grotto shipwreck type feel. So it's got like the tentacles and the anchors and shark teeth. So these things that you would find in like a shipwreck cove.
Right.
Whereas this one is a little bit more like mystical, dark, eerie, like lures you to your depths, like completely mysterious. So and I would probably call this if I were to give it an aesthetic, it would be like the goth e-girl aesthetic. Essentially, that's what it is.
Other than me just asking, what made you actually want to do one for another person? Like how did you go from just, these are just mine, to suddenly like, oh sure, I'll let you pay me to make one for you?
When somebody really appreciates my work, I really want to give them a piece of it, so it always makes me really happy. Like, anybody who comes over knows that if they go through my stuff, I will happily give them something. Like, oh, you like that? Take it. And it's really like it's a very just the feeling I get when somebody's just like, wow, I wish I could have one like that of my own. I'm like, you know what? I got you, because I think that everybody deserves to feel beautiful and have something fun that they feel really confident to wear. And it's just I don't want to limit that to just myself. I think that everybody deserves that chance. So if you come to me and ask me to make you something, you bet I'm gonna do my damn best to make you happy and make sure that you feel good wearing it.
That is a very altruistic way of looking at your own art. And that's really cool.
Thank you.
I really appreciate that you have that view. You know, I know a good number of people who are like, oh no, if you want a piece of my work, you have to pay like, you know, ching, like big dollars. Or it's just like, nope, no, this is only mine. You know, you can't even see my finished pieces until after you pay, and you're like, what?
In my opinion, I think art is meant to be shared. It's meant to be viewed by other people, and it's something that, like, if somebody else loves it, why not give them a piece of it? You know, why not give them their own little special thing? And I see nothing wrong with that. It's the whole reason that I got into my business and started making these things. Because yes, like, anybody can make cold process soap. Anybody can make these. Anybody can make bath bombs and jewelry and whatnot. But the fact that somebody is appreciating what I do and wants to pay me for it, like, that makes me feel really good, and they're ending up with something that they're gonna love because it's unique. And that's what I appreciate. That's why I've been doing this for 3 years.
Well, I'm on the fourth question now, but you've already seen these questions, so you know what I'm talking about. Not to beat around the bush, I am a far more robustly sized lady. And as weird as this is gonna sound, was it more difficult, roughly the same, or easier to work with, for lack of a better word, more material?
It actually, like, I didn't have any difficulties really. I would say, as far as the materials go, it was probably about the same that I would use on mine, just because yours was a lot more spaced out and you wanted it really simple. As far as working with all that extra material, I felt like I just had a bigger canvas, and it left more room for creativity versus, like, working on something small where you're like, okay, I only have like an inch to work with here, like,
Okay, I
what
get you.
can I do? So it leaves room for little details here and there without it feeling too cramped.
Based on some of my own friends, I know a few women who are a little bit more me-sized, who would love this kind of thing, but maybe a little bit worried that, like, oh, I'm larger, so maybe it wouldn't work as well. But it's also nice to know that it isn't that much of a challenge, so to
Yeah,
speak.
it's really not. Like, I think it's fun, and the fact that, like, any woman of, like, any size, they all deserve to feel beautiful. Like, there's literally no reason why anybody shouldn't feel good in what they wear, right? And so if I can give them something, it's like, fuck it, why not? I shouldn't cuss, but,
No,
like,
you're
it's
allowed
true.
to cuss on my channel.
Okay, good.
This isn't
Good.
Kimmy's stream. This is my channel.
Okay, fair. But yeah, like, I see nothing wrong with it, and I know that when we had been talking during the process of, like, what you wanted, I know you kind of had a hard time. You were like,
Produces picture in post editing. Just right here is going to be a picture of the design that. I don't know if I mentioned that was drawn by my friend Naomi. She is one of my best friends, and
awesome.
when I showed her the final version, she was just like, it was
That makes
because
me so happy. I was trying so hard to stay true to that because I really loved how it looked. I was like, I want to work with this. I did my best. I tried so hard because I was like, I know this is what Sylvia wants. So I was doing my best to make that work. And I'm glad that, I was able to get a pretty good representation and transfer that into, IRL.
it was really, really cool getting to watch you work on your Twitch stream. And obviously, I will post both in the bottom of the screen as well as down in the description of my own video a link to your Twitch stream. That way people can watch you work on other projects as well. It was really, really cool to watch you work on it on stream. I haven't seen, I don't think to my knowledge, I've seen any other crafting streams. Most of them are gaming on Twitch. So where did you get the idea or the inspiration to do crafting on stream?
So the too long version, when I first started streaming, it was actually just crafting.
Oh.
They would make soaps and bath bombs, and I would sew, I would chat with people because I didn't have a PC last year. I didn't get a PC until, like, this year, actually. Like, Valentine's Day was when I got my graphics card from Pure Asian Boy, so that was, like, one of the last pieces I needed.
Posts a link for Pure Asian Boy as well.
All the shameless plugs. But yeah, when I first started streaming, I did a lot of my crafting because my friend, the Banana Man, him and I have been best friends for over 10 years. And he brought me into this community. He brought me into Discord and Twitch and told me that I should start streaming everything that I make. Because at that point, I've been in business for about a year and a half to 2 years. And he was like, you know, people would love your stuff. It would get you a lot of exposure, and it would be really good for you, just overall. And so about a month of, you know, him and other people pressuring me to stream, I decided, yeah, I enjoy hanging out with people. I like talking to them. I like showing them the process of how I make. I think it's cool that they can actually get like kind of a behind the scenes look at how I work and how I make things that I do.
I personally do not hide the fact that I am an LGBT YouTuber. I don't have them in my background now, but I have, you know, in many of my videos I have my pride flags visible. I have them actually hanging over my bed.
I've seen it, yeah.
Very difficult to hide the fact that I am who I am. But I noticed on a lot of your streams you have the LGBT plus tag. Are you as open with how you identify and stuff on your Twitch channel, or is it more of just you have it to show support? Or?
It's both. So I've always been an ally ever since, you know, I can remember, just because I've had friends throughout the years that label themselves as bi or gay or, you know, transition. And I wanted to show that support because I don't think there's anything wrong with, you know, being who you are, labeling yourself how you want to, and being with somebody that you love. I don't get asked very often how I label myself because, you know, I am in a hetero relationship, but I do label myself as pansexual. I do use the she, her pronouns, but when I say pan, I mean I don't fall in love with somebody for, you know, the equipment that they have, but I love them for who they are as a person and their personality. And it doesn't matter to me how they identify themselves, as long as they are somebody that I want to be with. That is who I want as my partner.
I hope that was an okay question to ask.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, I don't mind answering. I'm glad that you asked because, you know, I don't talk about it super often. Everybody that's known me has known that I've been somewhat on the more curious side, so it's just recently that I kind of sort of came out as pan.
It is important, and it's a big it's a factor on my channel that I just, you know, my channel is a safe space, so I am.
That's why I feel comfortable saying something.
Well, you make your channel a safe space too, which is kind of more why I felt it'd be okay to ask. Briefly mentioned a couple minutes ago that you play a lot of Phasmophobia. It is definitely one of the games I have seen you do the most. Mostly with Ready Set Joe and Real Kimika. I've also seen you do Among Us, and I think I've seen you do Rocket League once or twice.
Yeah.
Now, this is a two-part question. One, do you have a favorite game to play on stream? And two, do you have a favorite video game in general?
I didn't really start playing video games until I was 18.
Wow.
And I was very limited. Yeah, so I played like the retro games like Pac-Man, and, you know, I had like Super Mario World and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, my mom growing up, we had like the Wii, so we would play like Wii Sports, we do Dance Dance Revolution and SingStar. That was all we did. So, my first actual game that I ever played was Halo Reach. And it has since remained one of my favorite games. But I went through the campaign like 3 or 4 times, so I was like kind of over it, but I still really enjoy the story, and I love playing PvP. It's just, it gets so triggering playing with Pure, so we don't really play it that often. As far as one of my favorite recent games, it would definitely be Nier Automata.
Oh.
It's one of my favorite games. I love 2D. I actually got to do a cosplay of her. Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite cosplays that I've ever done. I really enjoy the storyline. I love the music. I like the game style, and it's a game that doesn't make me feel sick to my stomach when I play, which is really important for me because I get really bad motion sickness.
Oh.
So I can't play a lot of first-person games anymore. but I was playing it on screen for a while, but I've given it a bit of a break. It's something that I would like to return to. That's probably my favorite like solo game, and then my favorite community or like team game would probably be Phasmo, just because it's fun and we run through everything. So,
Oh, hello, Mr. Ghost.
ooh, Sleepy Ghost, are you single?
Is your 2B cosplay your favorite cosplay, or do you have one that you like more?
Probably there's 2B, and then I did Raven from Teen Titans.
Oh, that's right. You have that as your profile picture.
Yeah, so I have that one. I did Gwenpool, Deadpool, Spider-Gwen. I actually have the Last of Us cosplay, which I haven't done yet. And there's two that I would still like to do. I'm desiring to do them, and that is Shigo from Impossible. And I want to do Urabi from My Hero Academia, which is one of my favorite animes. So.
Yes.
Oh, it's so cute! That's exactly what I want to do. I do have the UA uniform, like everything except her wig and the socks. But I want to do her, and then I want to do Himiko Toga. So.
As I've kind of hinted at with some of my other questions, and as kind of you've already said, my own channel is a safe space to kind of be who you are, and not worry about people judging you because you are, you don't fit into the norm. You have that on your channel, on your Twitch as well, and both of us are very body positive. But is there any other messages you want to particularly say to the people watching?
Yeah, you should always be yourself. Don't ever change yourself for anyone just because they want to feel more comfortable. There's nothing wrong with who you are as a person. And, if you are true to yourself, those that are good for you and should be in your life will come to you. And that's a lesson that I've learned the hard way. I've lost a lot of people that I've considered close friends in the past, but I look at the people that I know now, and I'm so thankful. I've gone through a lot, but it led up to, meeting Pure and meeting everybody that I have in the community who just builds me up and supports me. And that's all I want to do for anybody else. And I think that, everybody should be free to be who they are and love themselves, love who they want to, and not really care about what other people think. And I know that's hard. There's a lot of negativity out in the world, and it's hard to always stay positive. Like, I have problems with my self-image sometimes, but it's just remembering that there's nobody out there who's quite like you. And there's nothing wrong with being yourself. So just stay true to that.
That's really awesome.
I sound like an after-school special.
Hey, you know what? Hope and positivity and unconditional love are very important to me. So it's nice to see another creator who does the same. And it has been wonderful talking to you. Before we wrap it up, do you have any questions or anything for me?
Actually, how do you feel in the bra? Like, how does it make you feel?
As I mentioned already, it makes me feel like a badass. And of course I will post a picture up, which I know you've already seen.
Yes, that's fantastic. I love it.
When you and I were in the designing phase of it, I was like, oh, this will be really cool. I'll do a photo shoot, and that was mentally that was my plan. Was just put it on, do a photo shoot, have it hang in my room as like a cool decoration, and I thought that would be the end of it. And literally the moment I put it on, I was just like, I can't do a photo shoot. I have to make a video. And then it took me a couple takes because nothing's ever perfect. But I filmed the TikTok in my room. It's my first and currently only TikTok.
And
but it makes me feel like I'm a badass sea witch, and it's awesome. It's gonna be a weird question, and if you aren't comfortable with this question, I will cut it out.
Okay, no worries.
Because you have children, and forgive me, your children are 2 and 3, or how old are your kids?
5 and 3.
5 and
So
3.
my son is 5, yeah, and my daughter's 3.
Did you have people? First off, were you one of those people who like always go into a bathroom, or were you one of those people who would like breastfeed in public?
Oh, I definitely breastfed in public. I usually had some sort of. I actually would use a so long instead of a blanket, not only because it was prettier, but because it was a lot more breathable. Um, but I even experienced shaming from like my own. Like I'm not obviously with their father anymore, but when I was with him and their family, I would get shamed for nursing in public. Or if I
Seriously?
didn't have a
Wow.
cover and I needed to nurse, they'd be like, you would give me so much flack. I'm just like, why does it matter? Like, I'm feeding our child, and get really upset. So, not the next, not that. That's a whole other thing.
Oh,
But
of course, that's a whole other can of worms. But
yeah,
it is
I
it.
fully support people being able to breastfeed in public. There's nothing wrong with it. If there is a place where I can go and nurse, it's quiet. I prefer that because it's less distracting, and I'm not going to get dirty looks. But if I have to, I will go and breastfeed my baby in public if I don't have any other options. That's just how it is.
I only brought it up because it's kind of a similar idea where like because I used to work at a museum where we would get we get families of all ages and sizes, and like there were times where I would have to defend moms who were just sitting in a corner like breastfeeding their baby, and people are like, that's disgusting. I'm like, excuse me, this is a family place. She is feeding her family. Back off.
Not just that, but it's like, how are you going to label it as disgusting? So here's the thing, like, this is totally going off on a tangent tornado, but breasts have been sexualized in the U.S. You don't see this kind of sexualization anywhere else. Like, I'm sure a lot of people will probably fight me on this, but the U.S. has the highest history of sexualizing women, especially when it comes to our breasts. They are not sexual objects. They are not genitals. They are something. It's literally just muscle and fat. That's all it is. And women have mammary glands, and that's what we use to feed our children. It's been done for thousands of years. And to go and label it as disgusting because it makes you uncomfortable because you have grown up with breastfeeding sexualized is gross. You're the gross one. Just saying that. Like, if you're gonna look at me while I'm nursing my child, which I don't do anymore, but like when I was, and you're gonna say it's gross because I'm feeding my baby from something that's sexual, like, who's really the gross one here? If you're the one that's sexualizing my body, sexualizing my breasts.
Right.
I don't get it. I don't.
But it's that same. It's a similar kind of connection of the you're making me uncomfortable, therefore you have to stop. And I'm just like, I'm just doing my job.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm gay, but I'm not gonna stop being gay just because you're uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's like, first off, I work here. You are free to leave the building.
Hi, can I speak to your manager? I'm a lead. How can I help you?
Pretty much. I got a lot of that similar stuff because I am a young mom, so I dealt with a lot of shaming when I was working. I found out I was pregnant with my son like 3 days before I graduated from school.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I had just turned 21. What year was this that I had? So I had Natalia in 2017, so my daughter, and I had just turned 22 when I had her. So I was incredibly young. I would get I worked in retail, I worked behind a counter, and I'd come out and people would see that I'd be pregnant. They're like, you're so young. How can you have a baby this young? Like, I don't know, bro, it just happens. Do you want to see my 2-year-old too? Like, since we brought this up. But, I mean, things happen, and I'm happy that I have my kids, and I'm grateful for them, but we shouldn't shame people for the choices that they make. If, they got pregnant young, it's hard, but giving them a hard time isn't going to help. It's just going to make things more difficult for them.
Right.
So, I just try to be a little bit more compassionate, I guess.
Empathy is an important trait.
It is very, very important. There's a really cute thing that was going around on Facebook a while back that a Starbucks had put up, and it said something like, you don't know you don't know how the person ahead of you is doing, or like how close they are to falling apart, so treat everybody with kindness.
Right.
And it's true. Like, I've worked in retail, I've worked in really tough jobs where I've been face to face with people and they screamed at me not knowing like the things I was dealing with at home, or when I was dealing with postpartum depression with pneumonia, like I had a lot of issues at work, even with my coworkers, and it was hard. And not feeling like you have support makes you even more difficult. So I try to, whenever I approach a situation, I always try to think about how I would feel if I was in their shoes, and I think that's super important. And I think a lot of workplaces are starting to embrace that, which is amazing, and that shows true leadership versus just you know bossing around. So we need a lot more compassion in this world.
Yes, I agree. Out of curiosity, do you have any other questions for me?
I do. I feel
That's
like
okay.
this was just. I like the whole back and forth that we had, and it was nice getting to learn a little bit more about you and talking about everything. And it makes me so happy that I know it's silly because it's a flaw, but the fact that like it makes you feel like you never want to take it off, and you were like, I have to take this video and do these things. It makes me really happy. So I'm really glad that you appreciate it, and I'm so thankful that I was able to work with you. Honestly, it's just made my whole last month.
Well, in that case, let me shout you out one last time before I send you back into the ocean. Oh, great, Snips the Mermaid. So, if you want a lovely cosplay bra like the one I have here, the one that Snips is showing off, there's going to be a link for Snips' shop down below. And it has been wonderful having you on my friend.
Thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity to do this. It's very exciting.
Of course. Follow Snips, and if you can afford it, subscribe to her. And if you haven't done so with me already, subscribe to me because I do bullshit like this on a regular basis. And until next time, Starshines. See you later. Oh, hey, by the way, are you checking out Snips' store and seeing a ton of stuff you like? Well, save a little bit of money this holiday season with promo code 2021 at checkout to save 30%. That's promo code 2021 at checkout to save 30%. Sale ends on January 10th of 2021. So if you like Snips' stuff, get it while you can. And have a happy holidays.